And we're live. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy you're here. My name is Azu the Bard, one part of Bard and Raven, and you made it to the very first iteration of the Creator Spotlight Hour. Woo, I'm so happy everyone is here. And these fellas that
Huzzah!
agreed to come over. Hello, people. I'm so happy. We have some amazing guests here today. The Spotlight Hour is now a series, we at least hope so, a series where we invite creators that recently published a new thing for Daggerheart, all our loved system. And we are interviewing these creators and gushing over their most recent publication because it's so beautiful. And I'm very, very honored that we have these beautiful gentlemen over here. Ettin Entertainment. Dear chat, say hello to Kayfabed and Gallis. Woo. Hello, guys.
Hello.
You don't
Thanks
have
for
that round
having
of
us.
applause soundbite ready to go.
Awesome. I just realized that I don't have chat yet. Let me check this, change this real quick because I want to see what chat is saying. See, this is where it's starting. I'm very much a pro.
It's all
Anyway,
learning curves.
exactly. All right, so I mentioned that this will be a little interview thingy going on, and I just realized I have chat in stream. I can just look at the stream when there's a chat happening, but whatever, it's fine. Let's start with the interview, shall we? I have a few questions prepared. Let's see if we go through all of them or not, whatever. This is just a little chit chat, a little gushing, a little just love about Daggerheart and the system and about game design in general. But to all the people that might not know Ettin Entertainment, who are you? What is your story? Who wants to start?
Well, I'm Josh. You might know me as Gallis if you're around the Heart of Daggers Discord. I hang out there quite a bit. Um, I'm a plumber for the day job. But years ago, started playing 5e after learning about Critical Role. Played that for years and followed them. Naturally, as they came out with Daggerheart, migrated into that system, and just the stories and kind of the homebrew stuff we were doing for our home games over the years. We just loved it so much and wanted to help kind of get some of that creativity out to some other people's tables. So we decided to start publishing.
Awesome. Anything to add, Kay?
Yeah, my name's Kevin. I go by Kayfabed. I'm in the Heart of Daggers server a lot, pretty much kind of active on the Discords and everything. But yeah, same story. We were the guys that worked at Papa John's. We're kind of the blue collar designers. It feels like everybody else kind of has that some sort of graphic design element in their background. We came from making pizzas and managing people. But to what Josh was saying, the stories and everything, we got into it, started talking with it at work and everything. Just fun to escape from the world.
Yes.
When you are in the blue collar business, you kind of want that. So I'm sure any business you want that. So that was where that started. And we figured we could have control over our worlds here versus the world around us.
This is beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, then we started creating our own things. We've done a lot of stuff in the past, not publishing. We've just always dabbled. But this is kind of with like how they took on Daggerheart. It kind of gave us the fire to be like, look what they did. It's just following your passion. Let's just do the same thing. Let's see what we can do.
This perfectly leads into one of my next questions. Exactly, what is it that the Daggerheart system inspires you the most about?
I mean, I think it's just the kind of step back from the mechanics and putting more focus on the story. I mean, everyone has anyone who's played 5e has that moment where you just get so bogged down with, oh, but I have this thing, and what about that? I can do that, and how do I optimize? And Daggerheart's very much, let's let's get to why we're here. We're telling a story. We can let these mechanics come in to help that, but it's not, you know, the textbook that you have to apply to every situation.
True, true.
I mean, the same thing, just kind of obviously they have a system in place that lets you test the boundaries of their design. It's not just Faerun from D&D or whatever kind of modules they have there. I know we got our campaign frames, and that can maybe shoehorn some people to be like, no, those are the only ones you can do. But it's obvious that they can stretch the muscles with like the Panic Club doing their How's My Driving. But yeah, just the world's the oyster here. Like the new unknown.
Yeah.
All that stuff is capable of being in the Daggerheart system without a lot of tweaks and everything that we do see the new unknown doing their whole new reskin of everything. But the system itself can be stretchy.
Oh yeah,
which is
definitely.
Like.
And I mean, and you're using these boundaries and expanding on them. This is also one of the points that I want to highlight later in your supplement, where you just basically defined 2 new environment types, if you want, which is just awesome. I quite like it because you, as you mentioned, right? It is still an oyster, or Daggerheart is an oyster. We still haven't decided yet or packed it out fully what can be in there. So there's stuff to grow with, and it's just beautiful. And you're making full use of that. Yes, and I agree. I also come from a D&D background, but I played a few other games before. But right before I knew that Daggerheart was a thing, I was playing D&D, and I was immediately annoyed. And then Daggerheart came, I was like, I want to play that. Give me that now. But yeah, it's just for me. Anyways, I totally agree that D&D wasn't for me. It can be for other people, but not for me, anyways. So I'm totally on board with that regard.
I'll be honest, it's one of those things too with the nice crunch mixture. I think a lot of people play D&D with that like idea. I know people have said it before, but I just want to roll my dice rocks and do some math and see what I hit for.
Yeah.
I think you can get those people into Daggerheart, and I think some of those new environments we do might help those people step into the role play world, where it's like, you know what, maybe I can be annoyed that somebody's kicking my sleeping bag, and I won't get my stress otherwise.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to do it.
You're pointing to a really fun environment that we have to unpack later. There's I forgot the names, but we will get there. The rest environment, exactly. We will get there eventually. Exactly. I just love that in Daggerheart you can just give these little nods, these prompts to give people just the slightest bit of idea of like, hey, how would your character feel like in this certain situation? What would they do? What would they think? Do they have a memory that maybe applies here with this whole with this whole experience system, which is just very elegant. I love it.
It's all throughout character creation. You get those little prompts, and then even through into the actual at the table play with the environments. So beautifully done by Darrington.
Yes.
To just inspire those moments throughout the game. I love it.
Definitely. But before we sink more into like Daggerheart love and just like be all lovey-dovey and do not finish what we came here, let's move on. One first thing I want to say, dear chatters, if you have questions or comments, please let us know. Write them in chat. If you want, you can also ask questions to these Ettins if something arises down the line. If you have questions to some environments, perhaps you already picked up this beautiful little supplement called the Heartbeat, Bugs, and Brambles, and you have a question because you don't understand one certain point in the environment. But I mean, of course, they are probably already really good explained, but maybe something is off. Put them in the chat. Anyways, speaking of your name, to all the uninitiated, What does Ettin Entertainment stand for? What is the idea?
Two heads, one brain.
They
Well,
might not always see eye to eye, but it's one body working towards the same goal, and that's it. Rooted in the fantasy background of the games that we play. So
awesome. Love that. Love that. And you even have created a beautiful character that is soon to be a pre-gen Ettin-inspired character on Heart of Daggers, which we won't tease too much more. But yeah,
Well, I mean, I'm all right with that. Let's talk about that. That was going to be
sure.
that was going to be our guy, our logo that showed up in the books that would give hints and stuff. And we still might lean on that to have
Oh, by the way, did you?
Dim thinks,
Yeah.
and then Wit thinks. So Dimwit, the Ettin, Dim's one head, Wit's the other. And maybe Dim has an idea, and then Wit has another. And maybe the community can help decide which one is a better idea. Because like Josh said, we don't always see eye to eye. So it might be nice to have the community come in and tie break that.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah. Perhaps if you want, I'm just giving you a little bit of a marketing idea. Perhaps in your next Heartbeats, you make a little page at the end of your zine where you ask a question to the audience, like just an A/B question. What should we do in our next thing? Whatever, plants or pollen, whatever. And you just present it in the way of Dim and Wit, and then you let the community decide. Just say.
We do have the polling that we've started opening up on Patreon. But
Exactly. True.
we might take that as well.
Exactly.
Dim wants to do this. Wit wants to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Community picks the other option completely.
I mean, you
Option
are
C, none of the above.
exactly. You are getting a really beautiful artwork for Dimwit. Did you ask Matt yet if you can use it for your publications? Here we go.
Not yet. There's a lot. There's more involved there.
Okay,
in
understand.
figuring out if you can use a logo, commercialize.
Oh yeah. No, for sure. For sure. All right. Next question. Wait, what do I have on my list? Now I'm okay. And I think we got that already. So great. Now I think we are slowly moving into the territory of your heartbeat zines, because you're already in your no, it's the second volume. I thought it's on your third volume. Is this no? This is the
Third
second
issue.
third issue.
It's weird.
Oh, third
Well,
issue,
we could
but
say
it's
it's
volume
weird.
2. Oh wait, now I know why I'm confused, because it says Lost Lands volume 2, but third issue. Okay, here we go. Sorry. Yeah, my bad. Third iteration
No,
of the
it's
Heartbeat, second volume of the Lost Lands. What exactly is it? Can you explain it a bit to the viewers?
So, I mean, the Heartbeat itself is, a lot of what we saw initially was, huge adversary books or campaign frames, something that's very focused. So we made the Heartbeat to be kind of a basket, if you will, that we can throw all the different things, different ideas that we have into, and then theme it to kind of make sense. Um, like I believe every Heartbeat so far has a little innovation section that builds right into the environments or the adversaries that we present there, and then tie it all together with either an adventure or campaign frame.
Exactly, and I love that.
Yeah, I think just when we were doing Fangs and Felons,
Also,
some
the workload.
Knolls. Yeah, that was the kind of thing. Fangs and Felons took about, I don't want to put a time period on it, but it took a while.
I mean, this
I
is
want
like
to say
100
at
adversaries or
least 2
so.
months.
A few.
About that.
Yeah.
But then it was kind of one of those things that the deeper you get into the book, the more you almost want to add. Like,
oh yeah.
the Knolls almost made it in the Fangs and Felons, but it was a point of like, if we keep adding stuff, it's never coming out. So,
oh yeah.
Same segue to why there's a volume 2 of the Lost Lands. We had initially just done dinosaurs, and then giant ants showed up, and I was making some giant ants And I was like, well, if we have an ant-mounted giant ants with the dinosaurs, why are only the ants? Bring it into the next issue.
True, exactly. Yeah. No, I mean,
So a lot of
this
stuff
also
that gets scrapped
Mhm.
just gets carried over
Yeah.
into helping us build the next thing.
I mean, giant bugs in general in a prehistoric area makes so much sense because of when, like back then, where the oxygen content in the air was much higher, so insects could grow much larger. So yeah,
I learned so much from this stuff.
yes,
Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I do so much research into the logistic Daggerheart. Love the idea that the narrative. It's all about the
yeah.
narrative.
Oh yes,
So you do have to go do a little bit of research to go, why were these guys ginormous? Oh, there is a bug that actually spits flaming acid at people.
yeah,
So let's build that in. That's the adversary easy.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, there's a lot of research that goes in, and you're like, damn, I'm learning more doing this stuff than I've learned in school. And it's much cooler if teachers
Exactly.
taught it like this.
Yeah. Exactly. Let's all have now a TTRPG design class. We learn something valuable, and then you design an adversarial environment out of this. I would have loved this, to be honest. Yes.
Right?
Just
Get a little math involved too.
yes, gamify everything.
Easy.
We have a question from the German Raven, which is the other half of Barton Raven, which is perfectly feeding into the next question I would have had as well. How do you choose the themes for your supplements? Because she loves the whole dino theme.
It's kind of just, hey, what do we think is cool? We love dinosaurs, so let's make them for the game.
Makes total sense.
And it's definitely difficult to prioritize. Like, hey, there's this awesome idea. Let's make it. We're gonna make it for Daggerheart. But where in the order does it fall? And a lot of that's just how many initial ideas do we have that kind of are already shaping something and push that kind of to the front.
Nice.
Yeah, I think with the themes, basically what we think would be fun to play ourselves. If we're putting that ego on, like, let's just be honest.
For sure.
Like, everybody loves dinosaurs. You want to fight a T-Rex. There's no T-Rex in the core rule book. Let's do it.
True. Yes, it's that easy. I mean, the Jeremy Raven and I basically do the same. We just look what we like, and then we design it and hope people like it as well. But she didn't ask me this, but I still have to mention this. I know we are technically talking about the Lost Lands Volume 2, but I have to go real quick to Lost Lands Volume 1. Why on earth did you choose to have the Spinosaurus only tier 3 and not also tier 4? Because it's on par with the T-Rex? It's tier 2 even? Oh my god, even worse.
Yeah, that was
Because we got scaling tables.
Yeah, it can be 2 or 4 if you want it to.
True,
but
I mean,
it's to what Josh was saying. There's only so many ideas on the table. It filled a nice. Basically, we were looking for a tier 2 solo. That it also goes in hand with where people are expected to play in Daggerheart, with like the D&D philosophy that people aren't playing high levels. So maybe a tier 4 is not going to get as much look at. So we almost built these tier 2 and tier 3 as the bell curve. These are where people are going to be playing, and these are probably what they're going to see more. So to your credit, the Spinosaurus, we hope, sees the table more often than not than other people. So
this redeems it hopefully a bit, that like the Spinosaurus will be more out there. Anyways, 2 things about that. First, I forgot the first point. Wow. Second thing, you are very right about the scaling tables, because this is something I also wanted to mention later down the line, but now it's a perfect time. You guys, I don't know, did you already do it in the Null? I think you did it already in the Null Heartbeat, right? Where you made these beautiful scaling tables and advice about this? Anyways.
Fangs and Felons.
Fangs and Felons already. Oh, I'm so sorry. Anyways, It is out there. A beautiful, I don't know, a couple of pages of scaling information and advice on how to upscale and even downscale your adversaries and environments. And it is awesome. I can say I can say that. Because also for the supplements that we are developing, we because I'm a firm believer of like, I feel bad when I create a really fun tier 1 or tier 2 adversary and I'm like, well, GMs will maybe not use this in higher levels because they don't feel comfortable to scale them up or down or whatever. But with this one, just like some quick and easy tables that you can look over, just it makes it so much easier, and it's all part of your little heartbeat scenes. So thank you for that. Just
Yeah,
wanted to say.
we kind of have that. We are working on a poll, and one of those questions in that poll is, would you rather have adversaries scattered throughout tiers or smack dab all tier 2 with the scaling tables to guide you? I guess it's a tough one to figure out, but I think people prefer the scattered throughout than having to do the work and scale it themselves.
Mhm.
And a lot of that comes down to features. I mean, you can scale something up or down, but if the features don't align, you could get into a little bit of trouble there. And then if you're scaling something up from, say, tier 1 to tier 4, you're definitely going to have to add features that might not fit the narrative of the adversary. So there's definitely pros and cons to doing it either way.
True. Understandable, yeah. I mean, with what I'm doing lately is, at least for the environments, I'm just, because environments are a bit easier to scale, where you would just mostly just need to scale up and down some difficulties and sometimes some damage from features or whatever. But these are more or less easier to fit into the little area that you have for environments. But anyways, I just love that you provide these beautiful advice on scaling up and down and the tables. So that is very valuable, not only for if people are looking for your beautiful heartbeats, but I mean, if they needed this advice in general, it applies to everything. It's great. All right.
And a note on that,
Yes.
I believe with issue 3, we actually separated those scaling tables from the main file, just as a convenience thing for people. Don't need it eating up hard drive space, having it in every single issue. So if you download it once, you can save it on your computer somewhere, and every subsequent file size will be that much smaller.
Ease of access. You are thinking about your audience. It is good.
Same point. I do just want to make sure those numbers are pretty much extracted and put into just a different system of 2 tables. They're pretty much Right Knight's numbers.
Mhm.
And just to make sure he gets that credit there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's just more condensed into 2 tables versus going to hunt down each individual one. One might be easier than the other for other people. But also to what Josh was saying, we split it. I know we were talking with you. We just dropped the ball on that. But today we might do it as an upload for like a pay what you want, just for the scaling tables, so people can get that without the purchases.
That would be great.
necessary.
Yes. But I must say, you mentioned that these like the tables and numbers are coming from Right Knight's beautiful supplement, which is awesome as well. You should pick it up. Oh,
Creating
perfect.
custom
The Jemmy Raven
adversaries.
just posted exactly the link to that. Thank you. Perfect if you have people in chat that listen to what we're doing. But I think you still provide a lot more exactly this condensation, and also like the beautiful quick advice that people can look out at. So there is a lot of value on top of that. But as you mentioned, some people might like Red Knight's guide more. Some people might prefer your guides. I prefer your guides for just like quick scaling advice on the spot. So yeah, it is pretty good. But I think now let's have a look into the actual supplement, right? I think real quick, let's have a look and see what is included. So if you see my mouse flashing over here, you probably, I mean, Kay and Gallis probably won't, unless you watch the stream. I will scroll a bit inside. So at least in this supplement, I think you change it up a little bit what you're doing. In last supplement, last heartbeat, you had a adventure the Dino Derby included, right? Which is now also free, free to use. I think you get it for free when you get this supplement. Am I?
Yeah, it is.
Am I correct?
It's also out there as a pay
Oh.
what you want.
Oh,
just
perfect.
to grab it without when you purchase it.
A whole adventure where you ride on dinosaurs and go on a race, which is pretty cool. And actually, it is, I must say, this is not even an adventure. From my point of view, this is like a mini campaign because you have so much prepared beforehand, during the race, and afterwards. It's just like people can spend multiple sessions on that, which is great. Just saying. It's not just a
Yeah,
single one-shot adventure.
Josh did take I'll say that he created what you would call maybe a one-shot frame, an adventure frame.
Yes.
So like before it starts,
Mhm.
these are a couple pages to scan, figure out what the mechanics or distinctions are for that adventure to help set you up. And
Which
then once
is
you know that stuff,
exactly feeding
Run it
into
and
this
let it go.
collaborative storytelling aspect of Daggerheart anyways, right? Where also the session 0 is so important, where you create all of the characters together and form the bonds and such. And I'm also a firm believer of having these collaborative pre-game sessions where you do a little bit of things and then this changes the outcome of the adventure. Anyways, we wanted to look at this thing again. I'm getting distracted all the time, but it's just, you've created so many
It's
cool things
dinosaur
already.
racing.
Yes.
I mean, we could talk about dinosaur
How do you
racing.
not?
Exactly. But anyways, part of this book or this little supplement are also environments in all ranges, adversaries as well. Do you have the numbers real quick? Because I don't see them here, but they are like 20-ish new, or maybe
For
even
this
30
one,
adversaries.
34 adversaries, 13 environments.
34 adversaries.
Definitely our biggest one.
That is chunky, exactly. And you have made a whole campaign frame. Basically, you're rounding up volume 1 of Lost Lands with this volume 2. And now people have everything in their hand, like a list of, I don't know, above 50 or 60 adversaries and multiple
I was going to say the
environments.
complete Lost Lands is what, 56 adversaries, 18 environments to round out. I think that's plenty enough to get you started.
Yes.
And you can probably pull from SRD and stuff like that.
Oh,
But
yes. I
And
think this
things
must
and
be
felons.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
yes.
those are the Lost Lands. We've also included a free grab bag of everything. So there's Fangs and Felons included. So basically, if you get both issues, you're going to have 54, whatever I said, adversaries. But there's also a grab bag of 40. So you may or may not have some of those stat blocks. But if you just picked up the campaign frame, you're getting 40 extra plus these 34 money to run in the campaign.
Yeah. And I mean, like this can last a whole campaign, I must say, unless you are playing a campaign for 100, 200, 300 sessions and a couple of years, then maybe eventually some other people will create dinosaur content and then you can pick up those. But I think this will last definitely for like a mid to even larger size campaign, which is, you provide so much. It's awesome, I must say. So to all the people who always wanted to play either as a dinosaur or in a dinosaur setting, pick this up. Anyways,
Ancestries.
ancestries.
Everything. You can do whatever you want.
There are 2 ancestries in here, saurians and insectoids, I think I remember, which I wanted to showcase later as well, because I really like what you did with them. But on this page, wait, since I'm already here, let me zoom in a bit and see if that works, because I really like what you did here. This is just flavor, I assume, but it's beautiful flavor. It's just a little environment around the Daggerhearth. Just a little social environment. I think one must even say that this might be a rest environment, which you've created also, maybe. Just like a little thing, which is just really beautiful for people to enjoy a little Daggerhearth's warmth. Oh God, there are so many English in it that my German tongue is not suited for that. Anyways.
Well, that's actually one of the first environments we made around the fire back in Fangs and Felons, and we just loved it so much. We kind of reflavored it a little bit and made it a recurring thing right there on our table of contents page every issue.
This is really cool, I must say. Also because of this, like the beautiful storytelling aspect with shared burden. Like if a PC admits a secret or worry to the party, they can clear stress. It's or like an ally of their choice can clear stress, which is like a little prompt, and it's awesome. And also, I like that you thought about the GMs with the foreshadowing thing, where something is getting foreshadowed, and then a fear is getting generated that the GM can later on utilize to bring forth maybe that fear. It's pretty cool, I must say. Just wanted to say real quick about this little environment.
I like the potential adversaries with that one.
Oh yes, schedules, work
Schedules,
life,
work.
yeah. Internet outages. Currently, I'm quite lucky because there's a thunderstorm brewing outside, and I'm wondering when the stream will go off. But for now, it's fine. So, yay us! We didn't roll with fear yet. All
Knock
right.
on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood for sure. All right. So, I think no. Oh, this is a good question. Because I was just looking at my questions. Do you have a specific philosophy or theme that you're employing when you are deciding to design environments and adversaries? I mean, you've decided the theme from the beginning, but do you have something that you always fall back on when designing adversaries environments?
I mean, like Kevin said earlier, it's what is the narrative function of this adversary or environment, and how do we create mechanics that tell that story in a way that bring it to life in the game. Um, I mean, a lot of it is like you said again, the research. Figure out what do these things actually do in the real world, in nature, and how to translate that.
Yeah, I've been on one boat my whole life. No, that can't be true. But I've been on a cruise and maybe a couple speedboats on summer vacation. I don't know what a bosun is. I've watched Pirates of the Caribbean, but yeah, you always got to research that stuff.
Sure.
I think it was Carlos that did it in some interview. He said what they like about stat blocks, Carlos Cisco Pistol Heart, what they say love about the stat blocks of adversaries is they should tell the whole story right then and there. You got the description, you got your motives and tactics. And I think a lot of times you like to point those motives and tactics at the features, but you can point it at something that's completely irrelevant, not on the features that say like take over territory. So like the queen bee now has the idea that there's land to be taken and they want to expand. The queen might, those wheels get turning, the queen wants territory. Now these are kingdoms. So now we're expanding on that idea. Um, but yeah, as far as like the fallback, 100% with Daggerheart, it's narrative. Looking at some D&D stat blocks, we've done some conversions. The screeching fungus, I think it's called a screaming fungus in D&D.
Mhm.
But it's fun to figure out how they translate.
True.
Because not all of
And
them's a one-to-one.
they really don't. Like 90% of the creatures in there just have I attack with my claws.
It's awesome to actually go back on some D&D stat blocks and go, whoa, that's it. You have a whole giant stat block to tell us that it can see in the dark and it can attack with a tail. Like, where's the rest of this stuff? And then it's
True.
got a whole nother page of lore. So to be able to condense that and build it there, there's a lot of cheat hacks that Daggerheart did well. Their standard attack just being in the stat block. Because if you look at D&D, that takes up a whole freaking section.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
So to be able to just do 2 words, how much damage they do, and now you can build features around that.
Mhm.
Yeah, they've got a good system in place. They kind of hijacked it to let the design room breathe. But
True.
narrative all the way.
I just realized, do you have a specific person assigned to environments and adversaries, or do you just like how do you decide on who designs what?
So the workload's a little. We both have jobs full time. He's on like a completely different work schedule than me most of the time. But I pretty much get home from work. I start designing some stuff. Then we meet up on the weekend. We'll go through it together. He'll pick apart my bad ideas and see what doesn't work. And but I'd say most of the designing happens on my end, and then we take it together and then design it from there. But it's just kind of how the workload goes in the week, where we have to, in order to keep the schedule,
Makes sense. Yes.
work, pass it off, work together.
Got it.
But Josh is the 100% the layout guy as
yeah.
well. So we each have our kind of roles here, and we definitely meet up to make sure we're looking over each other's shoulders and stuff like that.
Nice. I mean, for my partner and me, it's very similar. I'm the writer and designer guy, and she is basically everything else: layout, art, editing, marketing, everything. So for us, it's a little bit more of a stricter side, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm tentative to say we are separate because we do everything together at the same time. It's just how it plays out in the work week, keeping us on the schedule.
Yep.
So than anything.
Nice. All right. Next on my list, our favorites. Let's talk about the favorite parts of this little supplement. What are let's start with yours. Do you have favorite environment or adversary, or maybe a mechanic that you put in this particular supplement that you want to talk about a bit?
I don't think we should start with us. I think we should start with you.
Fair.
Yeah, what's your favorite?
You know, I've got a little booklet of stuff that I could talk about. So let's see how much time do we have now. But let's go over a few things. I think what is my favorite? I think let's talk about the ancestries. Wait, I've written down on which page so that I don't have to scroll too much. Here we go. No, that wasn't it. We can start with that. The buddy system. That is cool. I think that is something that you designed for the first volume already, right? So it's not exclusive for this part, right? Can you elaborate?
Yeah, there's a page in the Lost Lands issue 3 where it does kind of say there's an introduction that says, hey, this campaign frame is a combination of both. You might be rereading some stuff that you've encountered before here. But we do plan to have a campaign frame release by itself with that free grab bag of stuff, not with the issue 3, maybe some samples of it. So the idea here is we wanted to make that simple for ourselves in the long run, to just be able to kind of crop that out, to be able to stand alone and not do too much back end work to get it re-released, if you will. But yeah, with the taming mechanic, it's kind of, I feel everybody, you can probably gauge every table, and on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you guys want mounts? And you're going to get every answer from 1 to 10. Everybody's got philosophies on them, so that's kind of where we just attacked it. We went, hey, we'll attack every philosophy. If you want them just to hang out and be a friendly Pokemon, don't come at me, Nintendo. But they can do
legally
that too.
distinct
They can just
Pokemon.
be a little friend, yeah, Daggerkin or whatever, what have you.
But I mean, you basically made the system where, just as you mentioned, you can tame a creature or a mount or whatever, and it can be anything, just a pet or even a big mount that you can ride on, which is a very cool system. But this wasn't it from what I wanted to start with, because now I found out where I wanted to go. Here we go. The ancestries that you added in the last volume and this volume, the saurians and the insectoids, which are completely new ancestries that you added, which I like. But you also gave advice on mixed ancestries if people want to add some features from other ancestries that they are already known. So you give, for example, for the saurians, you give some advice of like, hey, how would a fairy saurian would look like a Pteranodon? Oh God, I shouldn't say this. Anyway, let's go to the
We
next
should
one.
have had the pronunciations. we had pronunciations.
You had them? You know, would have been perfect for me. Anyway, crocodiles.
Didn't
I can
make
say
it into
crocodiles.
the final cut.
I can see a ribbit saurian being a crocodile. That is very cool. So you give advice on like mixed ancestries and what kind of features from these different other mixed ancestries, in this case ribbit, where you add the amphibious trait basically to this mixed ancestry, which is really good. This is another thing that you do so often in your supplements, where you add guidance for people to mix and match certain mechanics with others, and it's just like really elegant because you think really beautifully about all of the different readers, which is like a standout point for you, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Really
mean,
appreciate that. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. But like the people who don't need it won't care that it's not there or that it is there.
Exactly.
But if somebody needs that kind of inspiration, why not just put it in for them?
Exactly. That is beautiful. All right. Because we are also getting close to 1 hour already, let's move on. Because I wanted to also show, I mentioned it before, that you came up with 2 new ways of framing environments, and you just designed the campaign environment, a whole environment that is basically giving you mechanics for a whole campaign. In this case, Pangea Sundering, which is so amazing. And my God, this was so loud, this alert. my poor heart. Anyways, I'm fine. Can you talk a bit about that, because I love this so much?
I mean, the campaign environment, I think, kind of stemmed from an offhanded idea for something uh, that we started working on, and it kind of took a back burner. Um, but a sci-fi campaign frame where you're traveling space and visiting different planets. It's like, well, there's such a vast array of potential biomes and environments you could throw on a planet, but if the party's only going there to one spot to pick a guy up, you could just, hey, this is a global environment that you can just kind of throw whatever features at them at any point while they're there. um, so we kind of just stole that from that idea and brought it into Lost Lands to have that just kind of overarching story happening in the background.
And this is very cool. I'm just trying to make it a little bit bigger so that people can read, because I have this beautiful tectonic escalation thing where stuff is just gonna get harder because you have plate tectonics, which is very cool, very on brand. But
Yeah, I'll be honest, there was a lot of watching Netflix's Dinosaurs
oh
and
yes.
just writing a lot of notes down on there.
Mhm.
But yeah, just it felt like there was a line where it was like, I got to stop teaching people how dinosaurs work in like the world. We just got to make stuff that's fun to play. But
True.
the Pangea Sundering is kind of just playing off of history.
True.
So
Yes.
it's the same as what you asked about, like, where do we get our ideas?
Mhm.
Sometimes history is the best place.
Oh, definitely. I totally
whole
agree. Yeah.
Pangea continent tearing itself apart because
Mhm.
of explosions and
Yep.
volcanic breaches and stuff like that. So
I mean, speaking of volcanic activity, you also have something really cool, which I think I've written down. The lava rapids, exactly.
yeah, I
The
think
lava rapids are awesome.
I think this is in our top 5 of our favorites.
Okay, I can't show them on screen really nicely, but I will just make it. Wait, let me make it like this. Anyways, so you made lava rapids and a river, a whole river environment, which is basically just like a super cinematic scene of what would happen if your group would, for some reason, fall into a lava stream, and I would have to struggle for survival while also being chased by something, if I remember correctly, right? This was so much fun to read.
That actually ties back to the volcanic eruption environment in Volume 1. You can
True,
go
yes.
jump straight into the rapids.
True,
Yeah,
true,
the
true.
volcano went off. Now
Mhm.
you're getting washed out of the scene. Now you're floating on a giant rock down the lava rapids.
Yes.
Yeah, I got this completely from like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles side scrolling from Super Nintendo days
Mhm.
of like, yeah, how would you play that? Like, it's not being on water. Nah, we got lava. Let's
Exactly.
do
Water is
that.
boring.
So, yeah, how
Not
do you build
dangerous
up to
enough.
that? And Yeah, I love the idea that it's lava. I think D&D. Let's throw D&D under the bus here. Lava hurts.
Oh,
It's
yes.
not like 10d10 damage. It should do something to you.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, we have some damage and direct damage maybe as a result, but we even built in the MacGuffin thing. There's something that shows up on the river, the lava river. Your party can go get it. If you don't get it, the fail forward mechanic there
Oh,
is
right. You caught it, Molten
dip your
MacGuffin.
freaking hand in there and you can take a scar. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're not going to do 3 HP to get that item.
Mhm.
You're going
Oh,
to
yeah.
take a scar. You're going to be narrative into the world.
You know,
You go,
this
yeah,
this
I did it.
this whole gaining a scar system should have been used more often, I think, because it's a very cool story tool.
Yeah, we kind of lean into that with like,
Yes.
you know what? I'm tired of seeing make a death move
Yeah.
because it's cheap. Let's just be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
You can just say I avoid death and you're unconscious.
Yep.
So let's build in that you're in a tar
Cut,
pit. You
cut to
fall
the
in.
chase and take the
Yeah.
scar.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's just build it in. Use the tropes that you see in movies of a person who's drowning.
Mhm.
That scene goes to black, and the next scene in the movie is them with the blurred vision with somebody giving them CPR and they're coughing up water.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't die. They're a main character. They got
Mhm.
plot armor, but
Mhm.
we can give them a scar in this game.
Exactly. Awesome. All right, let's go. I think I mean there are so many things that I want to. Okay, let's make a quick montage without me showing it on screen. I like the lore section where that you put in. I mean, this ties into your campaign frame, right, where you explain all the distinctions and such, which is just like a neat little beautiful collection of information. The the insectoids I already mentioned. The rest environment, which I haven't shown yet, but this is the other thing. You made a campaign environment and a rest environment, which is basically just when I can say it in my own words for now, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Basically, just an environment that applies when you're doing short or long rest, or I don't know if it's just a long rest, because I mean these are things that are definitely longer resty, I would say.
It could apply to either.
Yeah.
It's really on the GM and the players there how long they want to play that out.
True.
But rests are role play too.
Oh yes.
A lot of our favorite interactions happen during that rest time where you're just sitting around the fire discussing what's happening in the world around you and figuring out the story as it goes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think there's a lot like I don't know when we play. The campfire is the place to wind down and talk in character with what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Those people that are just here to roll math rocks and do some damage, they're just clicking long rest to get full HP and stuff like that. So
True.
Yeah, we wanted to challenge that. Like the claustrophobic camp can definitely be a short rest. That can be applied anywhere as long as it's a tight environment. We were thinking maybe you're in a cave system and you got to take a break, but this is the only place we can do it safely. And now you're farting on me. Stop it. We're gonna fight now. Like
yeah, like you literally have this feature in there, which is beautiful. I can't wait to see what you guys are coming up next with these kind of types of environments, which is a beautiful idea and a beautiful addition. So thank you for that.
I'll tease it. It's a
yes.
sea shanty.
All right, nice. You already teased a buccaneer adversary, so I can see you're making a parrot thing next, which is awesome.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out but yeah, it's just figuring out what's fun. Like, what do people do around a campfire in real life that we can bring to the game to tell people, hey, you're okay with telling a weird ghost story. Just do it in character. Tell a weird ghost story that lasts 2 sentences. Get some stress as a result or something. But,
that is awesome. That is awesome.
Get out of the comfort zones is those goals.
All right, then I think you also have an environment for a giant beehive, which me as like a huge bee lover, which is awesome. You not only have a giant beehive environment, like what happens if you're in a giant beehive and you have to hide with some pheromones that you find to not get immediately attacked by the bees, which is cool. But you also have lots of different bee adversaries and wasps and hornets. It's just love it. But I want to go to the highlight of the thing, which You might probably already know what I'm alluding to, because this is just awesome. I'm showing now the purple worm, your tier 4 solo adversary, and I'm just showing the environment. No, wait, it's not an environment yet. Where's the front? No, oh my god. Sorry guys for the scrolling. I will just leave it at the environment for now, because it is not only an environment. Originally, it is a solo, right? It is a solo that you have to fight, but then eventually you might get swallowed up, and then you're in the bowel of the beast. So what happens when you're in the bowel of the beast? So you also made a tier 4 environment for that, for the purple worm, which is so much fun. Can you explain a bit more?
I think this might have been they might not be your favorite environment. They might not be your favorite adversary. They're up there. I think it is kind of the coolest design of getting swallowed and now going into the environment. At the same point with the purple worm environment, if you look up like potential adversaries and what's on there, it's that same point, what's in the stat block. We're trying to paint a picture of a world. You're not just in a purple worm. There's other worlds in the purple worm. There's cities there. We got leeches. There could be a town of vampires just living in a purple worm, surviving.
That would be awesome.
There could be a town that got swallowed, just hanging out and being like, you know what? I guess we're stuck here. So we'll fight off these carrion mites and build a little outpost. Maybe you can trade with people in here. Like, yeah, it's a whole system in its own right. What we also learned, lean into those questions. The questions at the end of the features are little cheat codes for anything that you're writing and you want to really get into the mechanics and you're like, oh, but what about that? What about this?
True.
What if he does that? Just put it in the question. Just make it simple on yourself, build it in the feature, and then in the question go, what happens if they have warm clothes in the cold? Like, there's little cheat codes that we learned with all this stuff. But
exactly. This is just to bring down the point. Exactly. The questions at the end of the features and environments are just adding so much world building potential and prompts for the players, which should never be overlooked when using environments. Just saying, yeah. So much fun. Anyways, but I mean, I have a few other things on my list, but just real quick, I love the snail mail, especially with the artwork. It's just really cool. Just this little guy on a large snail needing to quickly deliver mail. Or your bloom sprout. No, the bloom sprout is so much fun as well. And especially your whole bramble folk, like you made different adversaries from this bramble. I don't know if they have I forgot their name, but they're all called bramble something. And where you have this bramble token feature. Or is it a condition? Sorry, I might forget now. But
that's a token.
It's a token.
It's basically what there's like a couple tier 1 brambles in the core rules. So yeah, we just decided, you know what? We like groups. I don't know why you only build 2 of them. There are pirates in the core rules. There's 3 of them. There's a leader, a bruiser, and a horde.
Or the jagged knife, also just 3 people. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's like 8 skeletons.
Oh yeah, and a couple of zombies.
Or zombies, 3 at tier 1 and 2 at tier 4.
True.
Yeah, so we wanted to kind of bring that out. We were like, I'll be honest, there's a little bit of like, do people want bugs? We know that could be a trigger for people sometimes. Like, there's no giant spider that's in Fanged and Felons, but we did want some people who would be like, no, not bugs. Maybe there's other stuff, brambles that could entice them. But yeah, I like the Bramblebird. The Bramblebird is like, that can be played out so many ways to the GM. It can either be a drama-filled fest that you're walking on eggshells, or you can lean into the comedic element of like visiting your in-laws and you don't know their customs, and now you're breaking them at every turn.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it can be played up so many ways. Leaned into the questions. What absurd thing can be done for real?
This is really inspirational. Everything that you added here, because like every time when I look at a certain adversary or environment, I already immediately have like an idea of at least a quest, if not a whole story to tell as an adventure. And it just like brings so much joy in me when I read this, and I'm getting inspired by all of these ideas and stories that I might tell with this. So I would definitely bring this and the Lost Lands to my table as well. So and share the joy of the Ettins. But yeah, exactly. These were my favorites. There's so much more on there. But do you have some favorites that weren't mentioned yet? I mean, Kay, you already mentioned the Brambleberg, but Gallis, do you have one?
I mean, you just mentioned the Gloom Sprout.
Oh yeah.
That's probably my favorite adversary from this issue.
Let me
I
just
just love.
interject. Nintendo, don't come at us. Again. If you know, you know, Bloom Sprout.
Yeah. I just put it on screen because this one I have the page for.
Yeah, so I just love how true it is to nature in the real world. Hey, let me use this pretty thing to lure you closer before I snap and catch you. Um, and I just love that mirroring of real life into the fantasy game. And then, you know, once your party encounters one of these guys and they're just, moseying on their adventure and they stumble across a wide open field where there's hundreds of these flowers, you just can get those moments of, oh, we shouldn't go that way.
Or exactly.
Money though, look at all the money.
Exactly, because you have this feature, right? I've got a golden flower, where people perceive this as it's valuable, these flowers, and then if you have some loot goblins, like, look at all this money, let's grab all the flowers. It can be fun, and then you just go picking, and then all of these pop out of the ground.
I do feel, yeah, the whole intent is that these are valuable. Maybe you fail your role and have to go get it for some reason. Maybe you're compelled to. Yeah, we didn't want to build that mechanic in. We went back and forth on that a lot. So we left it ambiguous that you're compelled to. We'll leave it up to you how you guys solve that.
Is it greed or scientific discovery? We don't want to shoehorn somebody's character into acting a certain way.
True, which is the beauty of that. The beauty of Daggerheart, anyways. And also, last thing I say about this one, it is a support unit, and I think there are way too few social and support adversaries out there, and you guys are doing an amazing job in spreading the joy and innovating in this field, which is great. Thank you. More of this.
I will say the issue 4 kind of creeped us into a philosophy, and I don't know how other people feel about it. But if you look at the battle point system, standard, sculpt, hordes, 2 battle points. I don't know if there's any reason you can't start combining those people into the same, like you can't have a standard sculpt, if you will. Maybe a little beefier, less sculpty feature version type of thing, or even a sculpty horde that kind of uses sculpt features, but the horde half HP thing. So
true.
Yeah, there's some philosophies we're playing around with.
Ooh, it is interesting.
Combining battle point types, if you will.
Before we dive deeper into what is next for you guys on the horizon, is there anything you want to mention still about this particular volume before we move on?
I'll just point out no AI art.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we got
handmade.
Somebody asked about it on Heart of Daggers, but yeah, all the art we got Seppuku scenes, but
beautiful
most of
scenes.
the individual pieces are from either Dean Spencer, TTRPG, or
Rick Hershey's Patreon.
Rick Hershey, and he sells the same thing on TTRPG now.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah, it is so important.
He's got an art style, but yeah, the Arachraniums, how do you say it? But, yeah, they have a weird art style, but they're all hand drawn by the guy. He's a pretty respected artist in the stock art space. So it is stock art.
Yes.
Feel free to check it out yourself. You can make your own magazine with it.
I think now would be
ask that you maybe don't do it right away, but it's all stock art. You can do whatever you want with it.
Exactly. It is beautiful. I'm just showing now the front page again, this little moth, which is just the color palette is love this. Gallis, anything to add for this publication still?
For this issue specifically, I'm really happy with the interior design direction that we kind of changed to.
Oh, yes,
Uh,
true.
yeah, for the first couple of issues, it was just the basic affinity template from um, Sean Terrace that he sells on Drive-Thru and Heart of Daggers. But this issue, especially with a lot of these Suspectu scenes with this full spread, um, beautiful images, we took that opportunity to kind of redesign the whole interior, and I'm really happy with how it came out.
It
Yeah, I'll
definitely
put
looks
out
awesome. Yes.
inspirations. We'd be remiss to not say that those spreads weren't pretty much inspired by Mike Underwood, Bastion of Hope,
True. They also
because
have
he
spreads,
does
yeah.
those spreads.
Mhm.
Yeah, it kind of gave us that idea of like, maybe we can do this and kind of evaluate that. But no, the layout I think is beautiful. We kind of made a switch on that. But yeah, I think our glow up is going to be pretty nice. We'll do like a video at the end of the year to see how we
The
advance.
evolution of heartbeats. Yeah.
We even have one shot adventures where I hand drew. It's not colored. If you look at A Tale of Two Feasts, there's a picture of a bear and a turkey.
Uh-huh.
They're just the goofiest hand drawn things by myself,
Nice.
but no color, and it's just planted in there. But now we got stock art going all the way.
Mhm.
But I will also say those Sepeku scenes, those aren't stock art. Those are specifically, you got to go get a commercial license for those. Just if people are listening and they want to think they can use them, there's things to go around and make sure you can use them commercially.
It is very affordable, I must say, that you can get access to these scenes, and they are very beautiful. Yes. Right. All right.
Rick Hershey, maybe not as much. He's still within reason. I just don't want to have everybody be like, oh, it's the same. But he's a little bit pricier if you want to look into his art. Yeah.
Good to know. Thank you. All right, so let's slowly wrap up our little spotlight hour for today. What is next for Ettin Entertainment? I mean, you already alluded to a little bit, like pirates, maybe that pirates are on the horizon. Is this exactly the next thing that we can expect from you guys, or what is up?
Issue 4 is Fear the Tides. So it's going to be very nautical themed. You got pirates, some more organized naval organizations out there, as well as some interesting aquatic creatures you might encounter. Beyond that, though, I mean, there's so much kind of in the works. Something I'm most excited about is Olympian Divide, which is a Greek mythology campaign frame, which I don't want to spoil too much on that. But if you're a fan of Percy Jackson and kind of that whole Greek mythology, Roman kind of clashing, it's going to be something to look forward to.
Oh, I mean, I can't really hear her, but I'm pretty sure the Jimmy Raven upstairs was now Percy Jackson. Yes. So, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, we got a lot of things in the back burner, but we did issue 4 for the Tides, so nautical theme. Issue 5, we did open up voting on the Patreon, so I think we're actually going to close it today and wrap it up to confirm that would be Fears from Beyond for issue 5, which is pretty much the outer realms or the realms beyond.
This is all something that I voted for, so I'm happy about that.
Okay, so yeah, that's kind of like just the other realms. You got the hollows above, which is like your heaven. You got the, I forget what they're called, the circles below.
Yeah,
for hell.
D&D at least. Yeah,
and then they have the realms beyond, and it's pretty much fair game. So we're gonna have a blast with that. We're gonna discover some new realms that we're not gonna do the same old stuff. We're gonna stretch the imagination.
Oh, I imagine you guys are innovating through and through. So I'm so excited to see what is coming up next.
And then after that, I don't know. We might do like a one for us, one for them type of philosophy where we accept the vote. And then the next issue we do our own, and then the next issue back to the vote. But yeah, I mean, we love the idea of the Lost Lands. Honestly, if we see, we're kind of playing it by ear. We have ideas for the heartbeat, but we'll kind of evaluate that, I think, after issue 6 to see if there's not what the demands are. If people love the Lost Lands, maybe we expand that into adventures and stuff like that. But it's all playing it by ear and figuring out the path forward. We're all learning this and new to the world, so we're just on a path, and that path might have more forks in the road ahead, and we're figuring out which one to take. So,
Awesome.
But yeah, follow us on the Patreon. That's going to be the biggest place to get updates in terms of what we are doing.
Exactly. Since we're at this section already, to all the people watching, thank you for watching, by the way. We have some links that you can follow down somewhere there, I believe, where you can find the Ettins on Bluesky, where you can find the Ettins on Heart of Daggers and all of their supplements that they've published, and also what you have to type on Patreon to find their free Patreon page that you can just
absolutely free. Let me throw that out there. Absolutely free. There's no tiers. There's no nothing. Just follow us. You'll get a free stat block every week.
Oh,
yes. Get updates. Yeah,
I'm actually looking forward to that because you have your teasers are really cool. I must say I forgot what was your last teaser, but this one was already. I think was this also a rest environments? This was something with encampment as well, or I forgot. This was fun.
So yeah, I think it was the claustrophobic camp.
Yes.
Last week was us just releasing the heartbeat, so we didn't drop a stat block then.
True.
So we will be releasing one today after the stream. For
you guys, you should quickly go to the Patreon, subscribe to it, so you're not missing it.
Yeah, you'll get one today. We'll let you know what we're doing for the pirates or naval mariners. Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
For issue 5. If we close that today, get your vote in.
Yes. Oh, exactly. If you want your voice heard, go ahead. Just a few more hours or however long you want to have it to vote. Anyways, let's wrap this up here. Guys, it was a pleasure to have you and to talk to you about your supplements, your design philosophy, yourself. It was so much fun. Please shout out anything you like, anything or anyone you like. Now's your chance. Plug anything, anywhere. What do you want to tell your audience?
I'll shout out Carlos Cisco and Jaybird Games.
Oh, Jaybird.
We just did a little play test for Carlos the other day. So much fun. He's got some really cool stuff that I'm looking forward to seeing in the next volume of the Pistol Heart. So stay tuned on that.
Oh yes, Pistol Heart is awesome.
So shout out to anybody who purchased anything or downloaded anything of ours. Honestly, like we said earlier, me and Josh have dabbled in a lot of different projects in the past. We even had like our own built a foldable table to play role-playing games on that is sitting in a shed somewhere.
Nice.
But yeah, honestly, we've more than we could ever expected of people downloading our stuff. Fangs and Felons tipped off and let us do some things with the stock art and let us build more stuff. Honestly, the community showing the support is the most I can give a shout out for. Besides that, Josh for putting up with me. I think we're all kind of a little bit got weird design brains sometimes. So when he's formatting and I'm telling him we'll have to do this, like, let me finish this. So yeah.
Too many words that won't fit.
The partnership, I just want to make sure he knows it's respected. And the community couldn't have done without you. If you would have asked us where we'd be in 8 months when we started, it wouldn't have been sitting with Carlos and play testing and Pistol Heart stuff, or with a designer of Daggerheart and playing stuff. So the path is forward and the ball's rolling uphill. So we'll see where we go from there.
Awesome. That's so much. That is cool. I think I also have to shout out Heart of Daggers. if you guys don't know for some reason Heart of Daggers, I mean, if you're in the Daggerheart scene and the creator scene, and you've
You're
purchased
living under a rock.
exactly
Don't know Heart of Daggers.
Heart of Daggers is the #1 platform. I'm not sponsored. The #1 platform to go to get your third-party content for Daggerheart. And not only that, they have an awesome library of digital tools that will help you either run or play Daggerheart. They now have a character creator that is fully out of beta, where you can just create your own characters. Very soon, they will have pre-gen characters that you can just pick up immediately, and a lot more cool shit is coming up. And exactly, there's a character from these two guys in it as well. If you want to play an Ettin.
Dimwit made the cut to be a warrior, so there's
Yes.
going to be art to play a pre-gen warrior named Dimwit. I'm going to do the Oscar thing where I'm going to come back to the stage and throw all the shout outs. Mike Underwood, Jay Bird, Carlos, Azu, you guys. Yeah, I love what you guys did with the holiday stuff as well.
Oh,
I
thank
wanted
you.
to bring that up too.
You were kind of our first competitors with what we did for like Christmas stuff. But honestly, your guys' artwork
we
and
thought
stuff,
the same,
we
but
loved it.
But, yeah.
We loved your guys' artwork and stuff like that, and
you.
the whimsical nature as well, because we were both doing whimsical stuff, and it was kind of like, yeah, let's do some holiday cheer, and then we'll get into some crazy stuff later.
Exactly.
Heart of Daggers, Matt, everybody. Yeah, there's so many people to thank on this path. So
the Jeremy Raven, by the way, says, "Oh, thank you so much, very kind," because she does all the art, so all the praise to the art goes to her, and like editing and everything else. Like, of course, we are very, very, very lucky that we have you, that we had you here for this beautiful talk. One more thing, Matt from Heart of Daggers, the heart and soul of Heart of Daggers, doing all the work. They're awesome. Thank you very much for being so awesome. Anyways, let's not drag this any further and finish this here. To the whole community and to our audience who joined today, either live on stream or who will watch it afterwards on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for spending the time with us and getting to know the Ettins and their newest publication, Heartbeat, Bugs and Brambles Volume 2. More to come. I was Azu the Bard. I am Azu the Bard. I don't know why I always say I was. I am Azu the Bard from Bard and Raven. And you have been watching the first edition of the Spotlight Hour with the Ettins. Have a good night. Have a good day, everyone. Whatever time it is. See you next time.